are getting interesting. There is a new twist coming from Tanzania. Tanzania's Electoral Commission has announced Mama Samia Suluhu the winner of the just concluded presidential election. That's very interesting. I'm still trying to get that video, but let's have a look at the story as captured by Standard Digital. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu wins election with 97.66% of the vote. Electoral Commission says she garnered 31,913,866 out of 32,678,844 votes casted. So she has won that election with 97.66%. The interesting bit is here. Total registered votes in Tanzania are 37.6 million. That's the total registered voters in Tanzania. Out of that total registered voters, 32,678,844 have turned out to vote. That's about 86% of the registered voters. That's a very high turnout. Something that I know maybe Tanzania has never witnessed. Out of that, Samia Suluhu has gotten about 98% of the votes casted. It's interesting. 37.6 million registered Tanzanian voters gear up for October 29 general election. I'm reading this just to prove the registered voters in Tanzania. Dar es Salaam, October 28, Tanzania's Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, announced on Tuesday that it has finalized preparations for the country's general elections scheduled for Wednesday, according to INEC. Mwambegele said in a statement that 37.6 million registered voters will cast ballots to elect the president, members of parliament, and councillors across Tanzania, adding that of these, 36.65 million voters are in mainland Tanzania and 996,303 in Zanzibar. I wanted to prove to the doubting Thomases that the registered voters in Tanzania are 37.6 million. Out of that, about 32 million turned out to cast their votes. That's about 86% of all the registered voters. I want us to dig deep into this for Kenyans to understand what now this means politically, going on what has been happening in Tanzania. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. This new development clearly gives Mama Samia Suluhu some life. This is some strength. She's now the duly elected Tanzanian president. She can now exercise her authority as the president. She has been given a new mandate. I've always maintained that CCM party in Tanzania has been very dominant politically. If Mama Samia Suluhu could have just done a proper, free, fair election, something tells me very strongly she could have still won that election. Most Tanzanians identify with the CCM party. I don't know why she had to block her competitors. Because naturally, even if Tundu Lissu or any other opposition candidate was to challenge Mama Samia Suluhu, the mere fact that CCM is the most dominant politically, the most popular, the most loved, Samia Suluhu could have still won that election. The likes of Tundu Lissu could have not beaten her. What devil got into her? I've also heard some people talking of a handshake between Mama Samia Suluhu and Tundu Lissu. The handshake might not help calm the situation much because Tundu Lissu doesn't command the kind of support Raila Odinga used to command here in Kenya. In Kenya, it was almost a 50-50. Raila commanding 50 of the country, then the government side commanding about 50% of the country. I don't think that's the situation in Tanzania. In Tanzania, it might be a quarter versus 3/4. 3/4 being controlled by CCM. So the handshake might not really help per se, but still, it's a good way to try calm the situation. It's clear Samia Suluhu made a very big blunder. It's also worth noting that Tanzanians made a blunder themselves by not casting their votes in large numbers on the election day. These protests they are doing right now, they ought to have done them months before. The day Samia Suluhu blocked these opposition leaders from the ballot, that's when Tanzanians ought to have taken to the streets. That's when they ought to have protested. On the election day, if indeed they have numbers, they ought to have shown their numbers through the ballot. I don't think in a situation where 80% of the country is rejecting a leader, that leader can rig that election. It's not possible. Elections are only rigged if the race or the contest is close. But where 80% are rejecting a candidate, it can be very difficult to rig that election. But assuming he could have gone ahead to rig it, then Tanzanians could have now used that to do proper protests across the country. They could have gotten something at least to say we voted, but this person has rigged the vote. They could have at least gotten something. But as it is, in Tanzania, it's just a simple majority. It's a simple majority. So Mama Samia Suluhu has been declared the president-elect. We are still waiting to see what's going to happen in the coming hours. I don't know whether that declaration is going to anger Tanzanians more or that declaration is going to calm them down. I don't know what's going to happen. Ours is just to monitor closely and to watch to see what's going to happen. But this is clearly going to give Mama Samia Suluhu an edge, some new strength. We are waiting to see what's going to happen in the coming hours. Make sure you don't miss any of our analysis by subscribing. Let's meet in the next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.